Never let your failures discourage you. Give you some examples from my personal life whenever I have done this. Whenever I was working my last job, before what I'm doing now, I'm a personal trainer now, and I'm trying to do stuff with this. But before I was doing this, I worked at a sales job. And on the side, I was trying to start my own business doing Amazon FBA. If you know what that is, cool. If you don't, it's not a big deal. But I was trying to do that on the side. And that was I tried a bunch of different business models. And that was what I ended up on. I probably stuck to that the longest before I was doing this. And I was trying to sell the skincare product. And long story short, I put a lot of money into this product that I was going to be selling, and I made a mistake along the way, and I probably lost about $1,000. It didn't work out. I actually still had the product sitting in my room, and there was just some things that went wrong. I'm not going to go into detail, but there were some things that went wrong, and instead of learning from that mistake, this is a good example of what you shouldn't do, but instead of learning from that mistake and keep pushing and going further and try to further my business and learn from it, from then on, I quit and switched business models. I kept switching until I'm gonna try to stick to this. I'm gonna be sticking to YouTube, but I kept switching and switching, and I never stuck to one thing. I didn't learn what I wanted to do, and it's just a good example of what you shouldn't do. I should have learned from that and kept going and try further. So I just wasted $1,000 for no reason. Instead of thinking of it as an investment and learning, I just called it quits and didn't go from there. Another example, I was trying to pick up the guitar one time, learn how to play guitar. I wasn't making a lot of progress, slow progress. I wasn't learning properly. I could learn differently. And instead of sticking to it, again, I quit because I felt like a failure. I didn't feel like I was making progress, so I stopped. Again, that's what you shouldn't do. If it's something you genuinely want to do, you learn from the failures, learn from whatever, right? Same thing if you're if you're a guy and you're trying to get into dating more, you never really had a girlfriend, you never really date, and you get rejected by the first girl you approach. You take that rejection, and instead of learning from it and trying more, you take it personally and you're like, okay, well shit, this isn't for me, I'm not gonna do this anymore. That's what you shouldn't do. It's like, do you think someone who's never experienced defeat will become stronger? When a wound heals, like the flesh comes back strong, like tougher than where it was at. If you get like a scab on your elbow, like you scrape your elbow in the concrete, when it heals, the skin on your elbow is gonna be tougher. Same thing with whenever you're working out. Whenever you're working out and trying to build muscle, the way you gain muscle is by breaking down the other muscle and it builds back stronger. It's the same way with life. It's just like a way to think about things, right? If you're trying to progress in a certain area of your life and it's not going well and you keep failing, you use that failure to learn from it. Use it as a learning experience. A body that isn't hurt will never learn to become stronger. You can use that as another example is to think about like MMA fighters, people who just fight, fighters. Whenever they're training, they get beat up. They're going to suck at first. It's just natural. If you went right now to sign up for like an MMA gym and you're learning how to fight, you're going to get beat up. But getting beat up teaches you how to get better. That's how you get better. You get beat the fuck up. I do jiu-jitsu, and I would get beat up all the time. People who were better than me, I learned from them from us our wrestling together. I learned because I'm getting beat up. That's how it goes. Think about all the pro fighters out there. You think they were just good when they first started? No, they had to get beat up a shit ton in order to progress and get better. So you got to think about it. Are you going to use your defeats as a stepping stone to get better? Or are you going to let your pride hold you back and make you quit and make you stop? You gotta use them as a stepping stone to keep progressing. Don't quit what you're doing because you're seeing failure or seeing rejection. You gotta push through it. People who struggle with their social skills, and the videos I talk about, a lot of people gravitate towards my social skills videos because they struggle making friends or struggle meeting girls. And you gotta understand, in the process, you're gonna get rejected. Even whenever you're good at it, you're still gonna get rejected. And you gotta use those rejections as learning opportunities. Sit and think about the, what's it called? Interaction. Think about the interaction. Think about how you could have improved, how you could have done better, and then put that into practice for the next time you do it. Because in doing that, you're going to get better. It's the whole point. It's not going to always go well. And like I said, I get rejected all the fucking time, even by not even just by girls, but by trying to make friends. Some people, it's clear they don't want to be friends with me. And what do? You just move on. So you put that in terms of relationships and in terms of building a skill. If you're trying to get better at something, you're going to fail. Regardless, you're going to fail. Soon I'm wanting to start learning piano, and so I already tried guitar, so we'll see how piano goes, but it's something I'm actually interested in and want to do. So I gotta tell myself, I'm not gonna be good from the start. I gotta go through the trials and tribulations to get good at it. So whatever you're trying to get good at, and whatever you're focused on right now, don't let your failures or your rejections hold you back, and know they're gonna come. And just, whenever they do happen, use them to learn. Don't let your pride hold you back, and don't let your pride stop you from going after your goals, going after things you want to achieve. Because if you stick to it, you'll see progress no matter what. Sure, talent's a thing. There's going to be people who are more talented than you who are better at doing what you're trying to do. So they're going to have like a head start basically. But not all of them are stick to it. If you stick to it, you're going to see progress over time. And eventually, no matter what it is, you're going to be able to achieve big things if you stick to it and actually try to improve. Because there's a difference between going through the motions and actually trying to master the skill. So if you're just going through it like, oh, I'm just going to do it and get it over with, you're not going to improve. But if you're trying to get better, you're going to blow past the guy with the talent, the natural talent. This is how it works. And in doing this, you'll see so much progression and you're going to be glad you stuck to it. Like if I would have stuck to doing the Amazon FBA, I'd probably be making so much money right now. That was like 2-3 years ago. I would have learned all these necessary skills. I already had that first failure. I would have seen how fruitful the business would have been, and I would have learned more along the way. If I would have stuck to that, then I would have made so much more progress. And I should have stuck to that, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I enjoyed this more, and I actually truly enjoy this, and I look forward to making these videos. For that, it was just like something I was doing to try to make money. You know what I mean? So that probably wouldn't have lasted in the long term, anyways. But so I'm kind of glad for that failure that got me out of it, in a sense. But the money would have been nice, you know. But so don't let that hold you back. There's so many business owners, and they'll always tell you. You probably always see it, that all the big business owners, their first business didn't work out. They went through a bunch of failures to learn to how to make their current business profitable. So no matter what, you're going to have failures and rejection. So you got to just deal with it and not let it hold you back and not make you quit. You have to just push through it and do your shit and become great. That's all there is to it. And you can do this in all areas of your life. And like I said, I know a lot of guys struggle with dating. Just put yourself out there. If it goes bad, it goes bad. You're in the same spot tomorrow. You wake up the next day, you're the same person. The only thing different is you got a new experience. So it's a good thing. If you get rejected, it's a good thing. And you learn from it too, so you'll be a better person. But I hope you got some value from this video. Pretty decent video, I think. It's something I was really looking forward to talk about, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in the content, please subscribe. Make self-improvement videos, things like this, things I'm interested in at the time. So if you're interested, again, please subscribe. Besides that, coaching link in the description. If you want to try getting coaching or see if we're a good fit, there's a sales link. Schedule a call. We'll see how we fit. But you already know, you got any goals you want to make that shit happen? Don't be scared of failure. And I'll see you in the next video.